Hi there, Dr. Pamela here. One of the questions I get so often is around grades. I get a number of questions regularly from parents around grades and how grades matter in terms of getting in and getting money for college. Well, one of the things I do know is that grades, matter in a very peculiar way. And I can share that with you through a student of mine, Jack. Now, Jack had started with me at the beginning of junior year. And in my work with him, it was clear, first off, when we met, that he was a little bit disengaged from school. And I don't know if your teen is like that at all, or perhaps you know of a teen who's like that, that's, just bored with school. I mean, he was a good kid and, certainly enjoyed, gaming and other things outside of school. But when it came to doing his schoolwork, it just wasn't there. And so he was your typical C student. He had a GPA that was just slightly less than a 2.0. And so when we started working together, I worked with all kinds of students. And so this was, a case where he's a student that's, pretty average at best. And not only that, he just really wasn't interested in school. He was, kind of looking forward to maybe going to college, but, college was really more of his parents' idea than his own because he had been growing up. He was told that he had to go to college and college was his next step after high school. But it was clear that he really wasn't necessarily interested in that and wasn't doing well in school. And so the thought of doing more school after high school just wasn't that appealing. So, anyway, long story short, let me fast forward in terms of, senior year, the end of senior year, what that looked like for Jack. So, he started out with me beginning of junior year, came in, he was a C student. He was taking the classes that, he just needed to do in order to, finish high school, quite frankly. And he wasn't taking any AP courses. There was, one or two courses here that he was really excited about. He really enjoyed talking about philosophy. And one of the teachers that he met really took a liking to him as well. And so that helped in terms of his engagement in that class. But here's the thing that happened, senior spring that was surprising not only for him, but surprising for his parents as well, is the fact that Jack received over $200,000 in scholarships. Okay. And it was just a windfall, given that, his family didn't necessarily qualify for need-based aid. And so they were amazed that he got all of these scholarships and he's considered an average student, a C student at best. So here's the thing that I want to share with you in terms around how grades matter and how Jack was able to get so much money for college. So the first thing you should know is that, if the grades in ninth grade aren't as strong as, your teen may have, performed, in terms of maybe not so much as how they perform, but perhaps they had higher potential than what their grades showed for ninth grade. And so perhaps it was at a C, or maybe they got a really low grade in ninth grade that was different from how they performed in middle school. So if that was the case, one of the things you want to show is an upward trend. And so having a better score in a class in 10th grade than 11th grade, that can go a long way in terms of their grade story and how they performed in high school. And that indeed can show well as far as their opportunities to get in and also to get scholarship money as well. So that's the first thing. You want to show an upward trend. Now, in Jack's case, he didn't have that upward trend. I mean, we started in junior year working together. So he came in with grades just being pretty much C across the board, ninth, 10th, and he pretty much carried that into junior year as well. And so the thing with that you want to think about gets to my third point, but I want to add another point before that, which is, a common question that I get around the importance of grades. And that is whether or not your teen should take an easy class where they can get an A versus a more challenging class where they may get a B. And the thing about that is that B can actually look so much better than taking a lot of easy classes with an A. Because one of the things that colleges definitely look at is the rigor of the curriculum. What was the rigor of those courses that they took? And if your teen is taking only the easiest classes, but they have A's, that really doesn't show as well as them actually taking a challenging class and getting that lower grade. So taking that class and persisting through that challenge can show how they overcome it and be a story of triumph as opposed to a disappointment. And so I really do encourage students to challenge themselves as opposed to only taking whatever is the easiest course to take. Now, one of the courses that I often hear is a real big challenge for students is AP US History. And granted, if your kid is the STEM kid and, they're going to be taking another AP or honors level course in science or math, then maybe they don't take that AP US History course as well. But I would just say at least, take a course that challenges them. And sometimes it's the honors course that challenges them. Sometimes it's the regular course that challenges your teen. And if that's the case, take that course. But in whatever regard, as far as the classes that they're taking, make sure that they are challenging themselves at whatever level. And then the grades that they get should be showing that rigor and that they challenge themselves in terms of the grade that they receive. So that's the second point that I want you to think about in terms of how grades can matter as far as getting in and getting money for college. Now, the third one, and this is the situation for Jack, because as I mentioned earlier, he had come to me in junior year, a C student, and he had been a C student true in terms of 9th grade and 10th grade. And so the thing for him in terms of how the grades, even having a C grade, was allowed him to receive scholarships as well, is the list. The list can really make all the difference in terms of how much the grades will matter. And there are some colleges where, yes, you do need to be a 4.15 student, in order to be admitted. And that's because all of the other students who are applying to that particular college also have those strong grades that they've taken in challenging courses. But don't you know, there are a lot of colleges out there that are looking for that C student. And those are the colleges that could be a great fit for your teen, because they could be those colleges that say, hey, we want to admit this student for their potential, as opposed to admitting them for their past performance. And so there are countless colleges out there. And for the most part, that was the colleges that were on Jack's list. They were great colleges. They were a great fit for him. And we've talked about, what fit means so many times. And that's really what made the difference in terms of him still being able to get scholarship money. So I don't want to hear anything about you saying that your team can't get money because they're a mediocre student. I've worked with plenty of mediocre, average students that were still able to secure not only admissions into their top choice colleges, but also to get scholarship money as well. And so it's a matter of choosing those colleges that are a good fit for your team, and that will make all the difference. And there are a lot of wonderful colleges out there where, yes, your team can be a C student and have tremendous opportunity, and that college will still offer scholarship money. So I want you to stay encouraged in that. Now, before I go, I didn't introduce myself, but I'll just share with you who I work with, and perhaps you can see yourself in this. Well, I partner with busy parents to help their teen find a college that feels like home without overpaying. So it's about, that right fit and also getting scholarships as well. And one of the things I, really encourage you to do, if, because I know that this whole process can be so stressful. And if you're tired of being stressed out and worried around college prep and how your teen is going to get in and how they're going to get scholarship money, I want you to type easy into the comments. Easy, EASY, because what I'm talking about with you is how to make it easy. And I have this event that's coming up this Saturday, October 23rd, which is called College Prep Made Easy. And the whole point of that is around giving you that peace of mind around what it takes for your team to be ready for college and for you to get money so that you're not stressed out in terms of the whole process, because there's a lot of stress that comes with this, a lot of frustration, because there are going to be some times when your teen isn't going to listen to you. How do I say that? They won't listen to you, but they'll listen to a third party, a trusted third party who's doing this day in and day out. And so if you want to really save your time, save money, and save the relationship with your teen, I want you to join me at College Prep Made Easy. And to get more information about that, I'd like you to type easy into the comments. And I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.